The next thing we want to do, or at least start doing here, because we can always adjust in the future as well, is creating our camera. Okay, so right now I'm working with my perspective view, which is not wrong, but I want the silhouettes to make sense for a camera, and I want to have a cool camera to fly and follow our guy. Okay, so in order to do this camera, we can start by we can do it in two ways. We can of course go to create and then camera. I would recommend you guys to create the simple camera, no aim, no up, because this is what we use in the industry. Okay, so you guys can create this camera and you can animate the camera around like any other thing that you would animate. But you can also do like this. So let's go to first frame and maybe this is easier. So I'm gonna select a view that is closer to what I want to show. So this view, for example, let me bring it closer to the ground. Oh, this is good. Okay, so I'll turn off the grid, and then I can come here in the view option, and then I can create camera from view. Okay, from this moment you guys will see that we have the basic cameras in Maya here in the outliner. This is the perspective view that we were using to work with. Okay, it created now a persp 1 camera, which is what we have now. So I selected the persp 1 camera and I hit S on frame 1, so we have everything in the camera keyed. You can see everything is red now. Okay, so what am I gonna do now? I could go back to, let me see this. I could go back to my perspective or top view and animate this camera. Let me do one thing that is going to be having the camera selected. You can go to the attribute editor and then you can open this frustum. I don't know how to say this, but anyway, it's the third option, display frustum. And let's go back to this. But anyway, so it shows the cone on the camera. Okay, so one thing that you can do is, for example, the guy is running, and at this point that the guy is here, I want the camera to move. I have the camera selected, so I can move the camera and I can rotate the camera to show the guy. That would be a traditional way to animate. So you see, when I'm scrubbing the time slider and we have an animation for the camera to do all of this movement, right? But another thing that we can do, and it may be easier, is I'm going to remove this key. So let's go again to frame 37. We have the camera selected. We have this on, the auto key. And then I'm going to just go to my camera viewport and I'm going to, hold Alt and just go to the view I want. When I do this, when I change from that angle of view to this one, you will see the camera will move here, of course, and it's going to create a key here as well, and it will auto key all the related attributes like translate and the rotates. Okay, you can hit S again if you want, so it will key everything, and then you're gonna have the same animation, but it will make a little bit more of sense. It will not go crazy. The camera will not rotate around. Maya will kind of deal better with the in-betweens, the other keys. Okay, but you see, I still want to adjust it. I mean, the camera is rotating faster than the guy is running. So things I can do is I can adjust in a way that we have better key poses for the camera. Okay, but I can adjust in between as well. So let's say in this point I want to hit S and I want the camera to make a different movement, you know? So you can always adjust in between. Or you can do also, let me remove this. You can do also using the graph editor. So I have the graph editor here open, and then I'm going to start scrubbing. And uh-oh, the guy is out of frame. So I'm going to create a key here, and I will adjust the rotation in a way to rotate less, so more similar to what I had before. Anyway, adjust it to keep our guy in the frame. So when I scrub here, this is what happens. Cool. So let's create, I'm going to create my camera here until the end of the animation. And I'm going to finish on frame 70. And I want frame 70 to go closer. Keep going the camera movement to the right. And I want it to look up as well. So let me scrub this and see what happens. Running, climb the wall, and then it starts. Yep, I like this. Cool. I can even adjust a little bit here. I'm going to create a key. I'm going to go to the graph editor, and I'm going to change rotating next because I want it to look up more. So yeah, and maybe I can adjust this. Cool, this is cool. So create a camera for your animation, for the whole thing, okay? And after you created your camera, let's say you are working on your animation again, and let's say you are in a frame with no keys like this one, and you are here in the camera and you want to see here closer, and you do something like this, and then you, oh my god, what a mess what I did, because you changed the camera, you know, you created a key. Now this is part of the animation. You see, it goes closer and then it goes back. So you have different ways to do this. Of course, you can always undo. You can always go to the graph editor and remove the crazy key, this one, which I will do right now. But there's also a way to avoid this, and there's let me remove the key here. There's a way that is really cool and really useful. So here goes a tip. If you're here and you want to see close to the spine, let's say, so one thing that you can do so you don't mess with your camera is turning this on, this camera locker. What's the name again? Lock camera. So when you turn this on, you can hold Alt and try to move. I'm clicking and dragging and nothing is happening, any key. So you cannot move the camera. You even see that rotate and translate from your camera are set to blue now, this gray blue. So you cannot move anymore. But you still can see close here if you need. And in order to see that, we're gonna use this. This is a 2D pan zoom, which you can turn on and off here, or you can use the slash button on the keyboard. It's the slash that is that is leaning to the left. I don't know what his name is. The one close to the enter button. So uh, you can hold it and use the same way you use with the out button when you want to zoom in. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm zooming in just like I do with my phone camera. So I'm zooming and panning around, but the camera is not creating a key. Like if I turn this off, on and off, I will always have the original camera. And I can also hit the button, the slash, close to the enter button in my keyboard, and you also turn on and off. Okay, this is really cool when you have a camera that you don't want to change, but at the same time you want to see details like the fingers or anything that you want to see closer. Cool. So create a camera for your um, animation, your parkour blocking. Okay, and then I'll take a look and see if it's good. Don't go too crazy in this camera. Like don't do like drones flipping and orbiting and doing crazy stuff. Make it clear, like you want to see your animation happening. You want to see from a certain distance. If it's too close, like the character is too big in frame, it's not very good. If the camera moves too fast, it is also not very good because you don't see the animation. So make a mix of a cool camera with a cool move, but also traditional, um, like slow movements and slow rotation in a way that we can still see what's happening in the animation. Okay, and yeah, so that's it. In the next video, I will teach you guys how to start polishing and how to change FK to IK when polishing. Cool, but I should record them. I record it tomorrow. So yeah, see you guys.